Here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Blitz Bits. I'm your host, Ryan, or KG, and I'm with my best buds, Tyrone, who's the CEO of Gridiron Galaxy, and Levi Day, who has a cougar girlfriend. So, guys, starting off...
Read it and weep, bitches. Read it and weep.
Read it and weep, motherfuckers. Mentality. Okay, so, guys, I got a question for us. Minneapolis. Hey, isn't that where that one guy died?
No, totally not that place.
Moment of silence for my fellows. I lost my train of thought. No, I didn't. Okay, guys. Who do you guys think that you can get more yards behind the Cowboys' offensive line than Zeke? Yes or no?
No.
Wait, what?
I think I can get more.
I can?
Yeah. Who do you think you are? I am.
No shot.
Dude, I can tell you right now that off one leg, I think I can get 1,200 behind the Cowboys line.
Oh, I bet, man.
No, I'm being so serious, dude. Zeke has like 2 bum knees, 2 bad shoulders, a bad back, a bad brain.
Hey,
His
don't
head's
hate on that. Don't hate on the Patriots legend.
don't hate on the Patriots leading reception.
Exactly.
Leading receptions leader.
He was good for us, bro. He was good for us.
If Zeke was your best receiver, let's have a moment of silence.
Our receivers got hurt last year, okay?
What about
Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL, bro.
What happened to Juju Smith-Chrysler?
Did y'all see what he put on his Snapchat story?
Oh yeah, his peanuts. Dude, that was impressive. I can't lie. That was impressive. That was super impressive. Okay, all right. Serious. Draft recap. Okay, so let's go through it. So, everybody knows everything, but for the fellows at home that don't remember, I don't know why this is not working for me. There it goes. Number 1 overall, Caleb Williams. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. Number 3, Drake May. Number 4, Marvin Harrison. Number 5, Joe Alt, Malik Neighbors, J.C. Latham, Penix, Adunzi, McCarthy, Fashanu, Nix, Bowers, Fuaga, Latu, Murphy III, Turner, Mims, Verse, Futanu, Robinson, Mitchell, Thomas Jr., Arnold, Morgan, Barton, Robinson, Worthy, Guyton, Wiggins, Pearson, Leggett. Just real quick, Xavier Leggett's accent is the best thing I've ever heard since Randy Moss's accent. It's like, listen.
Southern accent? Is it real Southern?
He's Cajun. He's Cajun.
Oh.
So he sounds like that guy who's like, you guys remember when Ricky Bobby came in and won the Super Bowl? And then there's that guy who's like Adam Sandler's friend who plays the Cajun dude, like the water guy. Or not the water guy, the other coach. And he's like, and everybody's like, what? That's Xavier Leggett. He and Randy Moss, no stereotypes here, but they are not what you would think that they would sound like. Like, I didn't think Xavier Leggett would sound like that.
Hey, them boys are real Southern men, okay? They're real Southern.
They are real Southern men. So, guys, draft recap. Levi, you and I were pretty spot on.
Yeah,
we were pretty spot on. I did the trade down and picked Barton.
Yeah. I think the really the large part about why we were so accurate is just because a lot of these picks are really predictable. Like, I feel like the top 6 was fairly predictable. I got all my top 6 correct. I did have New England trading out to Minnesota. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I got actually my top 7 correct. And I thought I was going to get my top 9 correct, but then Atlanta was like, Michael Penix Jr. actually. So
yeah, that just kind of pushed everything back.
Shocker of the draft.
Yeah,
shocker of the draft. And I think that me and my buddies were talking about while we were watching the draft, we were talking about like the butterfly effect. I think that Penix pick had a huge butterfly effect on this draft.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. I can't find my Google Doc where I had everything written, but yours was pretty good. And you had us trading out of the first round, but did you even have Guyton selected? No, No, you
No, I
didn't. And
didn't.
you had Armarius Mims. See, if Armarius Mims fell to 24, the Cowboys wouldn't have traded out. But that's neither here nor there. But okay. We did pretty damn
And
solid on that.
Yeah, the only players that I had going in this draft that didn't end up going in the first round was Cooper DeJean, Jackson Powers Johnson, Marshawn Nealon, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Adonai Mitchell. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we got Marshawn Nealon in the second. That was a steal. That was an absolute steal. We'll get into that later.
Nealon's good.
Okay, so Aiden or Tyrone, Tyrone. What was your draft prediction like, and did it kind of go down the path that you thought it was going to?
Honestly, I feel like it mostly did. Like, I honestly think the biggest shocker was Bo Nix going at like 12 or something.
Yeah,
that is like such a mega reach in my opinion. But I guess Sean Payton.
But that's what teams are forced to do is like, when all the quarterbacks that you wanted got taken, you got to reach on a guy, which really sucks. But they had to do that. I feel like they could have traded down though and still got him though.
I don't think I can. What?
I was just gonna say, how long was it in between Bo Nix and Rattler for no QBs getting selected? Wasn't it 2 rounds or something?
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
I think there's 2 main reasons why they did pick there. A, because they had to reach to get Bo Nix because all the other quarterbacks that they wanted were taken. But also, I feel like if they didn't take Bo Nix there, I think Las Vegas would have. I think that's another reason why Minnesota traded into the 10th pick with New York so they could get J.J. McCarthy is because I think if they didn't do that, Las Vegas would have. And if the Broncos didn't take Bo Nix, Las Vegas would have taken Bo Nix.
The only time I can think about a quarterback reach that's worked out in recent memory, and my recent memory is not very recent because I'm just stupid like that, but I'm sure there's another example, but the only one I can think of is Patrick Mahomes. That's the only
that wasn't
one
really a reach though.
It really wasn't. It really wasn't. He just had bad mechanics. Not mechanics.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah. Bad. He had bad footwork. That was it. Everybody was like, "Oh, he sucks. He's inaccurate." And that was the only one I could think about that would be like a reach. But I mean, we see how that worked out. Dude, I'll be honest. Xavier Legette going at 32, Ricky Pearsall going at 31. Those are reaches to me.
Picks. I don't necessarily think they were reaches just because I feel like a lot of those teams, especially Buffalo and maybe, Carolina or whoever, I feel like they were really banking on Brian Thomas Jr. being down there. I feel like the Jaguars selecting Brian Thomas Jr. at 23 really pissed a lot of the teams off. Which is why we ended up seeing Buffalo trading back and stuff like that. But I will say, Ricky Pearsall is a really good pick, and I think he fits the 49ers system. But I was shocked when he went in the first round. I thought he was going to be a second-round pick. I definitely had – I understand why A.D. Mitchell dropped just because of, his character issues and also his diabetes and stuff. But I was surprised that Pearsall went over Ladd McConkey. I was surprised Pearsall went over Jalen Polk. A lot of those guys, I was surprised he went over Keon Coleman. Just kind of crazy.
No, absolutely. And the thing that I was really shocked about was that I don't know, that's just so weird. Ricky Pearsall and Xavier Legette, those are second round graded players. A.D. Mitchell, Keon Coleman, those are first round graded guys for me. But I've got a sneaking suspicion though that the Cowboys traded out of 24 because Brian Thomas got picked. I think that they were going to take Brian Thomas because at 23, obviously the Jags took Brian Thomas, and then at 24, it was immediately after he got picked, they were like, "All right, we're picking up the phones, we're going to trade."
So you think Dallas was going to try to get another receiver?
I do, because if you think about it, who complements CeeDee Lamb? Nobody. There's not one guy that complements CeeDee Lamb, and Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. With this Cowboys roster, that's not better than it was last year. Even if you go to the playoffs, which would be a miracle. I really honestly don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but if you do and you lose in the first round, he's going to get fired. and literally, which is bullcrap because I mean, yeah, what else is he supposed to do? But like, I could see them. I was really hoping that they would, and I think that they were going to. It's either that or that they had Morgan, Barton, and Guyton, and they liked all three. There's that as well. So I don't know. There's the surface level, which is Morgan, Barton, and Guyton were still on their board. So they're like, all right, and we can pick up a 3. We just fleeced the Lions, and or it's that Brian Thomas got picked, and they were like, all right. I don't know. That's what I think, though. Aiden?
Like, dude, monitoring like Packer Instagram pages during the draft was so funny. Like, I feel like the Packers have to have like one of the most toxic fan bases ever. Like, dude, like everybody was just so set on Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid, and when the Packers drafted an offensive tackle that only allowed like 3 sacks in his career, the whole base was just ready to like riot. Jordan
Morgan is insanely good at football. He is insanely good at football. He's got short arms. He's going to play guard, and he's going to be a monster. And my buddy, who's a Packers fan, was heated. He was like, "You have Guyton on the board, and you take Jordan Morgan? What the hell are y'all doing?" I was like, I would take Morgan and Barton over Guyton any day of the week. Literally any day of the week, I would take them over Guyton. Like, I was more heated about, I mean, it really wasn't heated, but like, I was more upset about the Guyton pick than I was about the Packers taking Morgan. But I
think that the only reason that the Packers took Morgan there is because their big needs already got taken off the board like right before them. Like they needed receiver, they needed cornerback, and literally the 2 best cornerbacks in the draft went before their picks. The best receivers in the draft went before their picks. But
Thomas was
I really don't understand the hate with the offensive line pick, because regardless of whether the pick hits or not, I can never be mad at an offensive line pick, like ever, for any team. Like offensive line is just such, especially like tackle is just such an important part of football, and it is fundamental. And I just don't like, I know there was a lot of Chargers fans that were upset with taking Joe Alt over Neighbors. But like, you just can't go wrong with taking the best tackle in the draft, you know, like that dude, you know, you need to protect your quarterback. You need to protect your quarterback. And that was one of their needs. Sure, they needed wide receiver. They just lost their 2 wide receivers. But like, I feel like wide receivers can be found a lot easier than a really fucking good tackle, you know?
That's true. That's so true. And that's the thing with premium positions, right? So like offensive tackle is such a premium position. And if you go down the board, it's like, okay, the first 10 tackles taken are the best 10 tackles in the class, of course, right? Or usually. And out of those 10, you have a pretty decent chance of hitting on a franchise guy. Then once you get down to the 11 through 20, 11 through 20 is like, eesh. I mean, none of these guys are going to be hitting. You go to receiver, though. Your top wide receiver all the way down to like your 100th receiver can hit. All they have to do is learn how to separate. That's it. That's all you have to do as a receiver in the NFL to learn how to play good football.
I mean, you see a lot of those, like, I mean, a perfect example is the 2019 draft. You had the 2 guys that won the first round. You had Marquise Brown and N'Keal Harry. Marquise Brown, he's been pretty good. Maybe not, you know, I don't think he's been first round pick worthy, but he's been pretty good. You had N'Keal Harry, which we're not going to talk about. And then neither
of those guys could separate. Yeah. Neither of those guys could
Brown,
separate.
Who went in the second round. You had DK Metcalf, who went in the second round. You had Deebo Samuel, who also went in that draft. Brandon Ayuk, I think. Yeah. You had all these guys that went in these later rounds. Now, sure, it was mostly second and third round, but, you know, they like, you know, a lot of those guys ended up being way more productive than the guys above them. I mean, I'm trying to think of, you know, Antonio Brown. He went in the 7th round, you know, like you can find these talents. I'm not saying like you can't find a tackle in the 6th round that's going to be great. I mean, the Patriots have Michael Waynu, who's like arguably an all-pro tackle, and we got him in the 5th or 6th round, I think, you know, like it's you can't go wrong. Like, obviously, you can find these guys at any position, Brock Purdy, Tom Brady, whatever. But it's easier to get these premium guys every year than finding a franchise tackle or a franchise quarterback. And that's why I saw a lot, as a Patriots fan, I saw a lot of people in these comment sections that were really upset that we didn't take Marvin Harrison Jr. over Drake May. But like,
there's always a generational receiver. There's not always a great quarterback.
If Drake May hits, like, you can, like, that would be such a regret to pass up on him. Like, you cannot, like, I understand, like, he could be a bust. For all we know, we don't know anything about him yet. But, like, you have to take that chance on Drake May. You cannot just pass up on him, Like, you can always find there's going to be a wide receiver that goes in the top 10, in the top, wherever. There's always going to be a really good receiver that goes, or really good few receivers. And I understand that this class was really deep, and that's why a lot of these teams didn't take receivers in the first round. Because guess what? The Chargers still got Ladd McConkey. He was a projected first-round pick. They got him in the second round. You cannot complain about that. Especially
and Ladd McConkey can separate.
Exactly.
And Ladd McConkey ran like a 4.32 too. So he's pretty quick, man. He can separate. I totally agree, Levi. I totally agree. Drake May is a great quarterback prospect. He's not an excellent quarterback prospect. He's not the best quarterback prospect you've ever seen in your life, but he's a good quarterback prospect. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a great wide receiver prospect. But you know what? There's always great wide receiver prospects every single year. You ever go into a draft where there's not a great wide receiver prospect? I haven't seen one. Everybody thought N'Keal Harry and Marquise Brown were like the next Tyreek Hill and freaking, I don't know, Julio Jones. No, but they weren't. But still, like, that's the reason why they got drafted first round. There's always guys that are just phenomenal. Not always at quarterback. Sometimes at quarterback you have the what's his face? Aiden, you were just talking about him on the phone with me. Quarterback, Steelers.
Oh, Pickett.
Yeah, you have the Kenny Pickett drafts, right? Like, come on. I mean, really, did anybody think that
none of the quarterbacks hit?
Yeah, dude, or like the Kenny Two Gloves. Like, come on now, man. Who thought Kenny Two Gloves was going to be a hit? Who thought Sam Darnold was going to be a hit?
That brings up a question of mine. So, out of the 6 quarterbacks that got drafted in the top 12, how many of them do you think are going to be hits, and how many do you think are going to be busts? And which ones do you think are going to be the hits of the draft?
I'll let Aiden start us off on that.
I think there's only going to be like 2 hits, 1 mid QB, and then 3 misses. And I feel like Caleb Williams is obviously going to be a hit. Like, I feel like the media is like burned him way too much recently. Like, remember like a year ago when everyone was like, this guy's going to be like the next really great QB prospect since Andrew Luck and all of that. Like, he's got to be a hit. And then honestly, I have no idea who the other hit is going to be. I just honestly think it's one of those 5 is bound to be a hit. Like, I feel like Jaden Daniels might just end up being like RG3, just gets hurt or something. I don't know. I don't know much about Drake May. I only watched one of his games because he played the Gophers last year. I'm not even gonna lie, he kind of sucked that game, but I'm not gonna base anything off of that game. But yeah, I low-key think Penix could definitely be a hit because if he sits behind,
he just can't blow his knee out for the 5th time.
Yeah, that's what I think. Anyways, I think it'll be like 2 hits.
I was really high on Penix going into the draft.
Me too. Levi, you go off next. Let me hear what you got.
I was thinking about this the other day. There's always like, out of the quarterbacks drafted, there's always only like 2 or 3 that hit. But like, what if this is just a draft where just all the quarterbacks hit?
2020.
Like, what if they're just all really good?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, but
there's gonna be 1 or 2 that's lackluster.
Sure, yeah. So I think Caleb Williams will be a good quarterback for sure. I think, I don't know what his ceiling is. He could be the best quarterback in the league for all I know. I have no clue what his ceiling is. But I think if handled properly, which it seems like Chicago is doing a really good job handling Caleb Williams so far at least, I think he'll be a good quarterback.
I just
Jaden
thought of a
Daniels,
nasty little
we'll
joke.
see. I think Jaden Daniels could be really good. Uh, obviously his talent's off the chart. Um, but he's in Washington and their owner's cheap, and uh, he's not in a amazing situation. He's also not in a terrible situation. Um, so I feel like he's a hit or miss. I think Drake May is the biggest boom or bust quarterback of the draft. I think he's very raw, but he has insane athleticism. He's probably got one of the best arms in the draft. Him and Penix, I think, and also Joe Milton have really insane arms.
Did Will Levis go to North Carolina?
No, Will Levis went to Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay, Will Levis and Drake May are really similar to me, like just playing, and I don't know why.
Drake May play style wise just reminds me a lot of Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. I know he gets those comparisons all the time, but I mean, it's kind of hard not to see it. His biggest issue is consistency. So if he can hammer out those consistency issues, which I think he can get if he just sits a year, and I think if the Patriots build around him properly, which I hope that they do, and I hope they don't give him the fucking Mac Jones treatment, because I can't do that again. I think he has potential to be the best quarterback in the draft, but he also has potential to stink it up, Mm-hmm. I just, honestly, I just don't see a situation where Penix isn't successful, honestly. Like, he's sitting behind one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has insane weapons for whenever he starts in 2 to 3 years, assuming that the Falcons don't turn into another train wreck. We'll see. But depending on his development, I think Penix could just be a really good quarterback. Obviously, the injury concerns. Same thing with J.J. McCarthy. Any quarterback that goes in J.J. McCarthy's in the Vikings system is just blessed. They have the best receiver in football. They have a great offensive line. They have a great offensive coach. I think he's probably going to start day one. I don't think they're going to be playing Sam Darnold much, unfortunately.
I agree.
And then Bo Nix, total wild card. I have no clue, dude. Bo Nix has, I think, the most starts in college football history. Obviously, he's older.
Wasn't he a senior whenever they got the COVID year? They got like 2 more years of eligibility or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he could be insane. Like Bo Nix, certainly. I mean, I don't think Bo Nix will be the worst quarterback in the draft. But I mean, I don't know. That's him. I feel like him and Jaden Daniels are like total wild cards to me.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one to be the biggest bust out of those 6, I would either say J.J. McCarthy or Drake May, unfortunately, as a Patriots fan. But the thing is I want them to build around him. And I think so far from the week of drafting players and signing people that they've done a solid job of it so far. They drafted a receiver high. They got offensive line help, They got a new coach that won't just fucking dilly-dally on offense. So we'll see. But that's my 2 cents.
I like it, dude. I'll be honest with you. I got a hot take for y'all. All right. None of this maybe, sorta, kinda, maybe, possibly. I could see it going. Nah. Caleb Williams is going to be good. Jaden Daniels is going to be mid. Drake May is going to be good. Michael Penix is going to be good. McCarthy's going to be mid. And then Bo Nix is going to be on a practice squad in 5 years. So that's my take. That's my take. I don't like the way I don't like the way Bo Nix plays. I don't like the whole analyst thing of, after seeing Brock Purdy last year, these NFL GMs have realized that playing experience matters. Fuck all that shit, man. They're playing in college football. They're playing in the Pac-12, all right? Go fuck yourself. I'm not worried about that. All right, Caleb Williams is going to be all right. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be the Derek Carrs of the world, where he puts up solid numbers, doesn't lose games, but he's going to be all right. He's not a top 5 guy.
So
he's not a top 8 guy.
You don't think Caleb Williams' talent will carry him into that echelon of players?
And let me be clear with you about one thing, Levi. Every year we always go into this and we're like, who's going to be the top 10 quarterbacks? blah, blah, blah. No quarterbacks fall out of the top 10. They stay in the top 10. So that makes these guys harder. To me, it's almost like you have 10 guys that can be in the top 10. And only 10 of them are going to be top 10 guys. So who's going to be the top 10 guys?
That's how a top 10 works usually.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so to me, I'm just sitting there looking and I'm like, well, it's not like it's going to be, these are the top 10, but then you see there's a couple guys here that, they're so good. It's not going to be like these guys are all Patrick Mahomes level. These guys are all Dak Prescott level. These guys are all Lamar Jackson level. No, it's going to be these guys are Tua level. These guys are Derek Carr level. These guys are, these good Kirk Cousins level.
People have to understand that, you can't compare all these prospects to these insane talents, and 90% of them aren't going to be these insane. Talents.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like there's a cap, there's a threshold for how many good quarterbacks can there be. There can't be 32 good quarterbacks. I think
that's what separates the good teams from the great teams is they take whatever talent they can get out of these guys, whether they be okay, let's say Caleb Williams ends up being a Tua level quarterback, right? He's not amazing, but he's good.
Correct.
The difference between a bad team and a good team is that a good team is going to maximize that talent by building around it and catering the things that because Tua is a quarterback that he's really, really good at certain things, but he's really, really bad at other things. And they cater to build around those really, really good things while having a system that's sort of foolproof to where they don't experience those bad things a certain amount. So
it's what all of the best offensive coaches do.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. So picture this: Tua on the Bears. All right, trash, terrible, gone. He's going to Justin Fields effect, right? Now you go put Tua on the Dolphins like he is. He's going to be phenomenal because Mike McDaniels and the offensive staff over there are geniuses. They are descendant from the tree that made Kyle Shanahan. Okay, and the Kyle Shanahan tree they know that what you have to do for a quarterback is make them a system quarterback because whenever your quarterback is on time and he's an accurate thrower of the football, there's not going to be any problems. Because whenever you take the mental part that makes the game hard and simplify it down, it just gets so much easier. And I don't understand why these teams have a hard time doing this. It makes so much more sense, right? Like, duh, you can go get a Mahomes where you can make him do anything. You can make Mahomes do anything. Sure, yeah. Go find your Mahomes. We're gonna sit over here with Brock Purdy. And we're going to go win Super Bowls. We're going to sit over here with Tua and we're going to go win Super Bowls. All right. Because we're going to play down the scheme. Actually, don't go find your Mahomes because if you find him, we're going to lose for 20 years. But that's the thing, though, man. And it's just I just don't get it. Caleb Williams is going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Jaden Daniels, I could honestly see it going really good or really bad. And I think that it's going to go bad because of the staff over there on the Commanders. Dan Quinn's not all that in a bag of chips. I learned that the hard way as a Cowboys fan. Every single year going in, we're like, man, Dan Quinn's got us all these picks, got us all these sacks, got us all this blah, blah, blah. What did that equate to? A trash-ass defense somehow. The most stat-padding defense in football history. I don't think he's going to translate well over there. No offense. I know it's a division rival. Honestly, no bias. I just think Jaden Daniels is going to be all right. Drake May, I honestly think that Drake May going in is going to be and then he's going to just turn it around and he's going to be like the CJ Stroud of the class. I really do. I think Drake May is going to be great at football. He's just got this grit about him. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He's just got this grit about him. Levi knows. Levi knows what I'm talking about. And then you go and then you look at Penix, right? Penix was the most accurate thrower of the football in the class, similar to a guy that was in the 2020 class. He goes by the name of Tua. But I think Penix does a little bit more better in the mental.
You're just saying that because he's left-handed.
That's not it. That is not it. I promise. Tua was the most accurate thrower of the football in that class. Everybody knew it. Yeah. And then I think Penix is also the most accurate thrower of the football in this class, and he's left-handed as well. Additionally, similarity. McCarthy, I don't really know. I honestly did not evaluate McCarthy very well.
I just don't. I don't like McCarthy. He's my least favorite quarterback out of the top 6. I just He just reminds me of Mac Jones too much, unfortunately. Like
I agree. I agree.
He's a very like
He's
high
the
floor
he's the
kinda
Tua
guy.
in the college
No, because
space.
I don't know, because I disagree. Because Tua, I feel like is a good. He's a
No,
he
no,
can
no,
be
no,
a
no, 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 no,
franchise
no, no.
quarterback.
No, I mean Tua in the NFL, but like Mac Jones was the Tua in the NFL, but in college.
Oh, he was
Because
the
he
Brock
had all of
Purdy.
this, he had all this talent around him, all this talent, and he
No,
did fine.
I disagree though, because I think Tua, despite all the help he has, he's still a talented quarterback. He can still throw
Okay.
the
I see
ball
what you're saying. We
insanely
disagree.
well.
All right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, in terms of like play style and ceiling and floor, I think
You
JJ
don't
McCarthy
mean the
has a
help.
no. I
Okay.
mean, well, I do mean the help, but also the fact that JJ McCarthy has a relatively high floor, but sort of a low ceiling. Like I'm not going to sit here and tell you that JJ McCarthy is going to be a bad quarterback, because I don't
Right.
know. All these guys could be good. All these guys
That's
could
true.
suck dick. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
but
That's true.
I just like, I feel like he will probably still be successful just because he is in a place that maximizes that kind of talent and success, and he has great supporting cast around him. But I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that, like, once push comes to shove and it's playoff time and you can't depend on those weapons to make the plays for you, the quarterback yourself, you need to make the plays. I just don't see it happening with JJ McCarthy, because I don't think he has, he can make these tight window throws. He's pretty accurate, but he's not good enough, in my opinion, to will his team to win, to get the 65-yard bomb throw that he needs to make. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be I think he'll crumble. That's just me, though.
I respect your opinion, and like I said, I didn't evaluate JJ McCarthy too much, but Bo Nix. Let's move on. I don't want to talk bad about these young cats that are coming in the league, because this is not going to age well for me. So did anything else surprise y'all? Because I mean, like, pretty much nothing else really surprised me. I was honest. The only thing that I can honestly say that was kind of like, whew, was the first defender going off the board at was it 15?
15,
Yeah.
Latu.
Yeah, that was odd. And I mean, I guess I kind of get it, because but then again, like I say, actually, you know what? I don't agree, actually. I mean, I do agree. I do agree with that, because it's quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackle, wide receiver, offensive tackle, quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback, offensive tackle, quarterback, tight end, offensive tackle. So those are all premium, except for the Raiders. What the fuck? What are y'all doing, dude? Drafting Brock Bowers, whatever you have, Michael Bear.
I get it, but like, it's best of it. It's best
BPA.
position available.
BPA. I think
Brock
I think the
Bowers
draft is for
is
BPA.
insane. People are upset because they drafted a tight end, but like, they also act like two tight end sets haven't been very successful in NFL history. I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Gronk and Hernandez were killing it on
Right.
the field. Like,
Yeah, dude. Back in 1995.
shut up.
I'm just messing with you. No, I totally agree. Whenever the Cowboys had Dalton Schultz and Ferguson, they were very successful in the two tight end set. I totally agree. Yeah.
I mean, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert.
Mm-hmm.
I had Latu as the first defender off the board, so that didn't really surprise me. Except I had him going 8 for Atlanta because they desperately needed edge help, but I guess they decided that Michael Penix was better. The only first round pick I didn't like was, I think, Darius Robinson in the first round to Arizona. I was not a huge fan of that.
Is that Chop Robinson, or is that a different guy? No, that's a different guy.
That's a different guy. Chop Robinson went to the Dolphins. That's Chop Robinson just reminds me of Micah Parsons a little bit.
Is it because he went to Penn State?
He did go to Penn State, but that's not.
I think he was number. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
That's not why he reminds me of Micah Parsons. He reminds me of Micah Parsons because I think he's very raw. and he needs a lot of development, but he has like insane defensive potential.
That's true.
So, but yeah, Darius Robinson, I liked a couple other edges, going into the draft, more than him, especially like Marshawn Nealon. Um, So I was kind of surprised he went in the first round. And then yeah, the Ricky Pearsall pick that surprised me. Um, and then I feel like there was one more. Um, oh, I think that one of the best picks of the draft was Terrion Arnold to Detroit. I feel like that was a really good pick for them.
I agree.
Great value pick. He fell all the way down to 24 to them. Arguably the best cornerback in the class. Also, Quinyon Mitchell to Philadelphia. That was a great pick. He fell all the way down to 22, I think. Just both of the cornerbacks, I'm surprised went so low. And I will say, another pick I wasn't a huge fan of was I didn't like Kansas City trading up for Xavier Worthy. I knew they had to get him because I know Buffalo would have picked Xavier Worthy if they didn't trade up. But I feel like out of all of the guys that went as high as they did, I feel like Worthy could have just as easily gone in the second round, because he has the whole, like, he doesn't try on most of his routes, and also he's just, still very raw as a talent. I feel like they could have gone with Keon Coleman there maybe, or, Xavier Legette even, but
it works with their play style, right? Like
I guess so, yeah.
Right, like Valdez, Scantling, Brown, Hill, like they like that. They like the fast guy, and I like that too. Whenever I'm playing in Madden, I don't know, but I mean, Mahomes is literally just a 99 overall Madden player. Like Okay, so we'll move on from that. Let's go into individual drafts. We'll cover that shortly, and then we'll go to like some off-season stuff. I'll let Aiden start us off. Aiden, so your team, let's go over the entire draft of your team real quick, and then tell me who you liked, didn't like, who you would have rather picked if you would rather have picked someone.
Well, one thing I will mention is that, Levi, did you say that you think the Packers needed a receiver like earlier or something? I low-key think that the Packers are fine. Like, I just think it was ironic, like, the past, 3 years, like, the fan base was just riding over not drafting a receiver in the first round. And then, over time, our GM low-key got us, a really solid wide receiver core. Like, Watson, Dobbs.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they have a bad receiver core by any means at all, because they have a lot of good young guys. I just think they kind of need that, standout guy, because you don't want to turn into the Patriots where you just have a shit ton of wide receiver 2s and 3s,
Yeah. Dude, everyone is predicting, at least Packer fans are predicting Dontavian Wicks being our wide receiver 1. Everyone thinks that he's the second coming of Devontae Adams. I think it's kind of funny.
We'll see, man.
But
hey, that's another receiver that didn't go in the first round, Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
good point.
Packers are really good at second round drafting, which my two favorite picks were both in the second round for the Packers this year. Cooper, some linebacker from Texas A&M. It's a really
Edgerrin Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Edgerrin Cooper's great.
Yeah. And then I forgot his first name, but Bullard, the safety from Georgia, he was really good in college, and we completely got rid of all of our safeties and got Xavier McKinney, and now we got Bullard and drafted 2 other safeties after Bullard, which I think was kind of funny. But overall, I think it was a really good draft. I would give it an A- because it pretty much hit all the team needs. The one thing I thought was I expected a corner higher, but I think the Eagles jumping in front of the Packers and getting DeJean, and the Lions jumping in front of them to get Arnold kind of sealed that. They got Kalen King in the 7th round. He was a projected first-round pick last year. So overall, I think it was a solid draft.
Yeah, dude. I agree. And Is there anybody else that like you can think, or like who else did y'all draft? So give me 1 through 7.
Okay, well, 1 was Morgan, 2 was Cooper and Bullard, 3 was a very interesting pick. It was Lloyd, some running back from USC that a lot of
Marshawn Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah,
It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone said that some people had him as high as like the best in the class, which I thought was kind of crazy. But
He's not the best, but he's definitely like the top 4. Yeah.
Nick Saban said he was the second best. I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 4th round, I think like 4 through 7 was pretty much just like filler O lineman, and then Kalen King in the 7th. Overall, I thought it was, I think it was solid. Like I was pretty shocked, honestly, drafting 3 safeties. We got like an Oregon one and a Oregon State, ironically, I think. But I'm pretty happy with the Packers draft, even though Instagram Packer fans just hated not drafting one of the top corners.
Yeah, no. For the Cowboys, 1 through 7 was Guyton, Nealand, Maurice Luafau, Cooper Beebe, Nathan Thomas, Flournoy, and then Justin Rogers. So going through that, Guyton, I give that a B minus, C plus, or just maybe a B, just a B. I don't know. That's just well, I guess a C plus then. I give it a C plus. Marshawn Nealand, A plus for me. He's got like crazy power in his hands. His hands and his power are NFL ready. He just needs to develop more tools in the toolkit. His three cone is a 7 seconds, right? So like you would think that based off that 3 cone that he would have some bend, but he doesn't have any bend. Like he doesn't have any bend at all. He's pretty stiff. So maybe they can develop that. Maybe they can find that. I don't know. But I really liked Marshawn Nealand. I like Mike Zimmer's defensive idea of running like a base package the majority of the time. I want to see how that works in today's NFL. Whenever you have a guy like Luafau, who was 99th percentile in coverage grade for PFF, and Clark and Bell and these other guys, these other cats that can cover pretty well. And then you have like a Nealand and like a Micah or like D-Law. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they might move D-Law to DT. I wouldn't like that. He's undersized and he doesn't play well against guards, but whatever. Then you have Cooper Beebe, dude, A plus plus. This is an S plus pick, dude.
Is that John Beebe's kid?
I don't know, but all I know is that he was like a top 3 guard. He was like a top 3 guard on my board, and we got Cooper Beebe in the effing 3rd round or the 2nd round. No, wait. Yeah, wait. We didn't get Cooper Beebe at that point yet. I'm jumping picks, but we'll go on to Cooper Beebe. But that was the pick that we got from the Lions, and we got effing Cooper Beebe, bro. He is day 1 ready. He can come out there and move bodies. He is dirty, bro. He's literally dirty. He hurts people, and I love that we got something like that for the center, because all of our centers have been puss boys since Travis Frederick, and they've been like little soy boys. And you could make an argument that center is more important than tackle just based off the cerebral part of the game. If you have a center who's great, it makes quarterback's job so much easier. So whenever Travis Frederick like medically retired for a little bit, Dak had to go and learn everything again, and that's whenever Dak had his like worst year. It's whenever he had to learn everything, was making calls for Joe Looney. Then Travis Frederick came back for like a season, and it was fine or whatever. And then Joe Looney and Tyler Biotish, and Tyler Biotish is all right. He can't make the Pro Bowl if you're trash, but he's all right. Cooper Beebe though is going to be more athletic. At guard, Cooper Beebe was the guy that would like go find help. He would always be the help guy. He's always finding help, and I'm like, that's perfect for center. That's perfect. Super smart player. He's got that grit about him. I don't know what it is, but but he's going to be good. And then anyways, Maurice Luafau. He was kind of a reach. I don't really like him. He's like a 4th or a 5th round grade. He wasn't amazing. I give him like a B. I get the idea, right? So you had Peyton Wilson still on the board, but Peyton Wilson does not have an ACL, and he's got shoulder problems. You don't want another Leighton Vander Esch. So I get it. He was their top linebacker on the board. Maurice Luafau was. great coverage player, and he's a psychopath, which means he misses a lot of tackles. But I'll take it, whatever. Then you get into the fifth round, or the fourth round. Oh, no, yeah. What's the fifth round? And then we got Nathan Thomas, I believe, tackle. He's all right. He's just a big guy. He's a big player. Just one of those filler tackle spots. Like maybe he'll turn into something. Maybe he'll be the swing tackle. Ryan Flournoy was a small school guy. He he's pretty fast, but his issue is separation. So he'll end up being all right. I doubt he'll turn into anything spectacular though. And then you have Justin Rogers at the end. He is just like a big old mean motherfucker. He's just like eats his Wheaties. He's big. He's a nose tackle, like at Auburn, playing alongside his teammate. I forget who his teammate was that played at Auburn, but he was a top pick too. So, the Cowboys class, I give it a B+. It was decent. Guyton was all right. Marshawn Nealon was amazing. Maurice Luafau was all right. BB was amazing. Nathan Thomas, all right. Not Nathan, yeah. And then everything else, whatever.
And then what'd you give the Packers as a grade?
Me?
A-.
B-? Okay.
He said A-. A-.
A-? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And you go, Levi. It's your turn.
Drake May, potential home run pick. Arguably the best player in the draft. You just gotta go quarterback, man. We don't have a quarterback. That's an A+ pick. I liked him more than Jaden Daniels. I think the Patriots would have traded out of the 3rd overall pick if Drake May got picked over Jaden Daniels 2nd overall. Drake May is just, so good, has potential. Arguably the best ball thrower in the class. He's just, raw, needs development. I think he needs to sit for a year. I would like him to sit for a year. I hope that's what they do. But just has insane potential. Jalen Polk in the 2nd round, we took him 37th overall. We had the 34th overall pick. I think we traded out and got some good assets out of it just to move down 3 spots. I would have liked to see Ladd McConkey in the 1st round, but I think they see something in Jalen Polk. Dude had 70 catches for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. It's the number 2 receiver on his team, He's, I don't think he is going to be like an insane wide receiver 1. Like, I don't ever see him being like a top 10 receiver or anything like that, but I think he can certainly be a reliable guy for a long time if he reaches his full potential. I'll give that pick like a B+. Really happy they went receiver in the 2nd round, though. If they went anything else, I think it would have been a bad grade. In the 3rd round, we went Caden Wallace, offensive tackle out of Penn State, 68th overall. Dude's a behemoth. I think he's certainly I don't think he's a day 1 starter. And he's kind of raw. He needs some development, but I think that was a really good pick because we also really need a tackle. Our offensive line is just abysmal. So I'm happy with that pick. I think he could potentially be a starter eventually and a good one. Just needs development. So I'll give that pick like a B+ again. 4th round, we went pick 103. We went guard Layden Robinson, just reinforcing the offensive line. I'll give that pick like a B, nothing special. Just like a mid-round offensive lineman. 4th round, we went 110th overall. We drafted Javon Baker out of UCF. I'm really excited for this guy, man. I think that was an A+ pick. I'm not really sure how Baker fell that far because I think he was projected late 2nd, early 3rd round, and we got him in the 4th round. Dude has explosive highlights. Obviously he's talking a lot after the draft, saying he can make people in wheelchairs stand up. He's getting the people excited. The only issue I have with the pick is I feel like him and Jalen Polk have a lot of similar skill sets. because they're both like, guys that are really good in the slot, can play like X receivers, but that's not going to be like their huge strong suit. They're good 50-50 jump ball guys. They're not like huge yards after the catch guy, but I'm fine with that because we already have guys like Boo Boo Shit Booster, who we'll see how good he is this year. But yeah, I'll give the Javon Baker pick like an A or an A plus. It was a really good pick. In the 6th round, we took Marcellus Dial, 180th overall. That's also, I think, like an A minus pick. It's a really good pick. Cornerback, needed cornerback help. Can't go wrong there. He's out of University of South Carolina. And then we took Joe Milton in the 6th round, 193rd overall. I loved that pick. A lot of people on the outside are looking at that and be like, why did the Patriots draft 2 quarterbacks? Well, that's because Bailey Zappi fucking sucks. Simple as that.
Dude, I love the idea. I love the idea of the 2 quarterback draft. Dude,
yeah.
I love it.
Joe
I love
Milton, I don't expect Joe Milton to be like a starter or anything like that, or like take over Drake May's job if he sucks. I'm not expecting a Bailey Zappi 2.0. I don't think Joe Milton is the greatest quarterback, but oh my God, does that dude have a cannon, bro? He can fucking throw the ball.
Hail Mary time. All right, go in, Joe.
And I think if developed, he could kind of turn into maybe a Taysom Hill kind of player, or like, how the Saints would bring in Jameis Winston sometimes to like throw like a Hail Mary or a deep ball or something. I think they could do that, but I mean, Drake May can make those passes too, so I don't know why they would do that, but I'm going to give that pick an A+. I really like the Joe Milton pick.
Dude, honestly, like I told you in the group chat, like the idea of like, God forbid, Drake May gets hurt. Well, now you can develop someone else.
Exactly.
There's always something developing, and I like that idea. I really do. Or God forbid Joe Milton gets hurt. It's like, well, what are you going to do about it? You still got Drake May. Have a good time. So I like that.
And then our last pick was Jaheim Bell in the 7th round, defensive back out of Florida State. Again, we needed defensive back help. Overall in this draft, I'm really happy they went primarily offense because that is what we've needed for a long time. And I just like revel in
Preach,
the fact
my brother.
that I know that if Bill Belichick was still our GM, it would have been 5 defensive players and 2 offensive players. I'm not convinced we would have gone.
And the 2 offensive players would have been small school white dudes.
Yeah. I'm just happy that there's a new regime here. I really think that Elliott Wolf cooked with this draft, and I'm going to give the Patriots an A-.
Okay, I like it. It seems like I'm the only one who's a little hard on my team, and I think the reason why is because we drafted for need instead of drafting BPA. I always hate drafting need. That's what the free agency is for.
That's what the Patriots did in 2021 when we took fucking Cole Strange.
Yeah, dude, was he any good? Has he ended up being any good?
He's decent. Like he's like he's not horrible or anything. Like he's a pretty he came on during the second half of last season, but he's not like amazing or anything. Like he's just kind of like your average starter.
Okay. That's pretty good.
See if he develops in his 3rd year, because it is his 3rd year. He's still got time to develop. I mean, I don't want people to give up on him. Certainly wasn't worth the 29th overall pick, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I like that. Okay, let's quickly go over NFL off seasons, and then we can. What the hell? What the fuck? My Alexa's talking to me. Let's go over the NFL off seasons, and we'll wrap it up really quick, and then we can let us go so I can edit this and upload it. Okay, so off season for the Cowboys, man. Here's the deal. All right, Tyler Guyton's going to be our left tackle. Cooper Beebe is going to be our center. I'm pretty happy about that. Zeke's coming back. That's like the worst thing ever, dude. Like I never bought a Zeke jersey for this reason, and he's back. That's crap. That's so bad, dude. That's so stinky. Like I can't. Oh, it's so embarrassing. And then like just little knickknack free agents like UDFAs. Like we got Nate Pete the third out of. Let me see. Where was he from? Okay, this This is not the good transactions that I wanted to see. We signed like Nate Pete out of like Southeast Mississippi or Southeast Missouri or something like that. Some small school guy. He ran a 4.3 40. So like, I'll take it. We re-signed Tyron Johnson and Ezekiel Elliott. Re-signed Damian Wilson. So we're just bringing back old fucks that used to sign with us. That used to play for us. We re-signed Chuma Edoga. Once again, another old fuck who used to play with us. God. Dude, just all in my ass, Jerry Jones. You need, dude, God, dude. I'm so tired of this old ball sack, dude. He's got Deadpool skin.
Bro? He's the GOAT, bro.
Dude, Jerry Jones. Yeah, you know who invented the salary cap? Jerry Jones. So everybody hate him, please. Whenever your team's over the salary cap, it's Jerry Jones's fault. He said, I don't want to spend any more of my own money. The NFL should do something about it. And they created the salary cap. So screw him. All right.
Any thoughts on Mike McCarthy?
Don't even go there.
Okay.
Let's move on. No, honestly, Mike McCarthy's I think Mike McCarthy is an okay quarterback. Head coach. He's an okay head coach. Big Mike's all right. Like, I was just telling someone this. I think it was you, Levi, or maybe it was Aiden. I don't remember. It was on our phone conversation today. When's the last time that Dak had a great coaching staff?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Never. In his entire career, he's had Jason Garrett. He's had what's that dude who ran all those screens? Scott Linehan. He had Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. Then he had Jason Garrett and Kellen Moore. Then he had Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. Then he had Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer. And you know what? Brian Schottenheimer sucks so bad that Mike McCarthy's calling the plays. And you know what Mike McCarthy likes? Slants. A lot of slants. A lot of them. A lot of slants. A lot of slants and digs. Over the middle. Over the middle. All the time. All the time. And he also loves running on first and second down. Like a bozo.
Dude, that is like literally the Packers era summed up. Is the run, pass special by Mike McCarthy on.
Dude, it was literally run.
Patriots too.
Hey! Hooray! All of our teams don't know how to play offense.
I fucking love stagnant offenses.
Woo! Let's keep it going, guys. That's what Hey, guys. Hey, listen. All right. This is Mike McCarthy at halftime. All right, guys, listen. So we're down. Okay, we're down to the Packers, my old team. I'm really pissed about this, guys. All right, we're going to come out. We're going to run the ball once to Tony Pollard. We're going to run the ball again to Tony Pollard. And then, Dak, you're going to throw a 5-yard slant over the middle. Sound good? All right, break. Let's go, guys. And then it's like run, pass. We got the first down. Hooray. Run, pass. Oh, we got the first down. Play action. Gotcha. Run it again. Then we're going to pass it. Then we're going to run it again. And then we're going to do not a pass. We're going to do an RPO.
Dude,
got him. Got him.
Jair literally picked off a slant in the playoffs.
It was an RPO after we had just run the ball twice on third down. It was run, RPO slant to CeeDee Lamb, who was lined up on the outside. An outside slant. Who throws that? Mike McCarthy's offense. Mike McCarthy, after he downed 3 Big Macs. Boo. Mike McCarthy. Okay, he doesn't suck. All right, he did a great job with this.
Fuck Mike McCarthy.
He did it. He did a good job with the culture. Okay, he did a good job with the culture. Let's be honest. Let's be real about that. He did. He did a great job with the culture. The Cowboys went from being them boys and hot boys. You remember Tank and Tyrone Crawford and Randy Gregory wearing hot boy chains? They're hot boys, and they're freaking losers. They don't ever win anything. And then Mike McCarthy came in and they're like super, like they're airtight now. Like no leaks about the Cowboys get out anymore. Y'all notice that? How it used to be like the Cowboys are going to draft this player in the first round, this player in the second round, this player in the third round, and they would draft all those players. And now this year it was like, we really don't know who the Cowboys are going to take. We really don't honestly know. We think it's Guyton, but maybe not. We don't know. And like, I like that. I like that Mike McCarthy made an airtight ship. I like that he changed the culture a little bit. I like that he's bringing in people that are not his friends. Like Jason Garrett only brought in his coaching tree. Mm-hmm. And like Dan Quinn brought his coaching tree over. Like, fuck your coaching tree. Fuck them. What did they win? Nothing. You like them because they're yes men. Now get out of here. And I like that Mike McCarthy's like, hey, I'm not just gonna, because he brought over his buddy who was our defensive coordinator in 2020. God, I can't remember. But it was that idiot loser head who was our defensive coordinator who got hot sauce in his eye in the middle of an interview. And he was terrible and he got fired. And that was Mike McCarthy's buddy. And then they fired him and he was like, all right, I won't go get my bud. I'll go get another guy. And he got Dan Quinn. I was like, okay, all right. They did fine.
Mike Nolan.
God, I hate that dude with his bald head. You know who else I like? You know who I like though, like low key, because he's low key kind of crazy. I like Bones Fossil, bro. He's talking about his vasectomy on Hard Knocks. Like that's live. That's live. I like Bones Fossil. John Fossil, dude, he's a great special teams coordinator. We almost beat the Steelers just because of John Fossil. We ran 2 fake punts and almost scored on both of them. So that was pretty live. I love little Bones Fossil, dude. That guy's pretty nice.
Can I talk about the Patriots now?
And I'll sum it up. Cowboys going to go 10-7 this year. We're going to be the 6th seed. We're going to lose in the first round, and then Mike McCarthy's going to get fired. We're going to hire Bill Belichick, and we're going to suck. We're going to suck so bad.
I thought that was going to happen this year, honestly.
Yeah, I thought it was too. But you know how Jerry Jones is about wasting money. He lets those motherfuckers ride out their contract.
You want to know why? How I know that the the Cowboys are not going to sign Bill Belichick?
How?
Because they already have Jerry Jones. They already have an ego fossil in their front office already.
I'm telling you right now.
Wherever Bill Belichick goes, he is going to want full front office control.
I'm telling you right now, Levi. I'm telling you right now that if Mike McCarthy gets fired and there's not a more of a yes man, they're gonna go get Bill Belichick just because they can, or they're gonna go hire Jason Witten. They're gonna go hire Jason Witten. I know. I have a source. Okay, guys. I actually have a source. I promise. All right. I hate saying that, but I have a source who told me that the Joneses were calling Jason Witten asking if he wanted the head coach.
You guys should hire Josh McCown. Okay. Patriots.
Talk about the Patriots.
All right. So a lot of Patriots fans were upset about this offseason. A lot of them. And it was mainly just because we didn't overpay for a wide receiver that didn't deserve it. I liked our offseason. I didn't love our offseason, but I liked it. And the biggest reason why I liked it is because
Levi, you were so loud I could hear you while I was pretending to be dead.
Wow. The reason why I liked it is because we retained all of the players. That
snug as a bug in a rug.
Michael Wenu.
Yes.
We needed to re-sign him, and we signed him to a 3-year, $57 million deal. Great deal. Best tackles in the league.
Money.
Just really good. Let's see. Who else did we sign? We re-signed Anthony Jennings.
Okay.
3 years, $12 million.
Who is this guy? Deal. Never heard of him.
He played at Alabama. I think he's in his 4th year now. We drafted him in the 3rd round way back. He was hurt for the first couple of years, but this year he's a linebacker. This year he played pretty good. Warranted, enough to re-sign him. 3 years, $12 million. We re-signed Josh Uche. Great signing. It's only a 1-year deal, $3 million. He's probably going to go elsewhere this offseason, but he's one of our better pass rushers, so I think it's very necessary. We re-signed Kendrick Bourne. He's coming off of a torn ACL, so we'll see how well he does. But over the past 3 years, he's been our most productive receiver. So, kind of need him back. He's always been, relative to our offense, a high producer. Same thing for Hunter Henry, who re-signed on a 3-year, $27 million deal. Hunter Henry, one of the better tight ends in the league. Great signing. And then we also re-signed Jalen Reagor, which a lot of people were upset about. But honestly, Jalen Reagor has been really good for us, not in the receiving game. He sometimes plays wide receiver. But the big thing with Rager is that he's been our primary kick return specialist this past year, and he really came on hot at the end of last year. I think he had a couple kick return touchdowns. And it's a 1 year, $1.3 million deal. That's a great signing for us. And then in terms of outside free agents, we re-signed Jacoby Brissett. I think that's necessary. I want him to start this year. Jacoby Brissett is not a bad quarterback by any means. Obviously not a franchise quarterback or anything, but I think he's very solid, especially for like a bridge quarterback. 1 year, $8 million deal. We signed KJ Osborne, wide receiver, to a 1 year deal.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's he's a wide receiver too, not crazy, but he had a lot of production in Minnesota next to Justin Jefferson and eventually
Minnesota.
Yeah, I think he'll be productive. He's a good receiver. We signed Austin Hooper, another tight end, 2 tight end set. That's kind of the Patriots thing. They ran it with Mike Gesicki last year. We lost Gesicki in free agency, so we needed to sign another guy. So we have Austin Hooper.
Who did?
Sion Takitaki, he played on the Browns. He was kind of like an explosive linebacker.
Who named their kid after the corn the flour tortilla chip?
We lost
Sierra
Mac Wilson.
Taki.
We lost Mac Wilson in the offseason to the Cardinals. So signing Taki was a good deal. We signed Antonio Gibson out of Washington.
What do you want as a snack?
Taki, man. Gibson, I'll never forget his 2021 fantasy season. That man, Antonio Gibson, was really good. We lost Zeke. Good signing. We signed Chukwuma Okafor.
We lost Zeke. Good signing.
Yeah. We signed Chukwuma Okafor out of Pittsburgh, offensive tackle, pretty good. And then we signed Armin Watts and Nick Leverett and Jalen Hawks, which are all just kind of depth signings. Overall, I did like our offseason. We retained the guys we needed to retain, and we signed a couple of good contributors outside, and we had a good draft. So I think really next season will be our big splash season in free agency if we need to, especially since Drake May is going to be starting next year, hopefully. Maybe get a big receiver next year. Let me check who let's see, 2025 NFL free agent wide receivers.
Okay.
Let's see.
I like where this is going.
There's a lot of, next season we'll still have a lot of cap space. We had a lot of cap space this season. But I think that next season there wasn't really any good receivers because a lot of people were upset that we didn't pay Calvin Ridley however the fuck much he got paid, but he got way overpaid.
Yeah, didn't he get close to like 30?
I think he got like $23 million,
money.
which is insane. Mm-hmm. Okay, barring any extensions or anything, the wide receivers that are going to be on the market next year are Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Chris Godwin, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen. I'm sure some of those guys will get extended, but there's some of those guys that probably won't. And those are the guys that we are going to be banking on. And I think we'll sign one of them. And who knows, we could still trade for T. Higgins at the deadline this year. I really hope we don't, but
Aiden, let's hear about the Packers.
Yeah, Levi, you forgot one thing. You forgot about your Mr. Pacific Ocean man himself.
Oh yeah, we traded Mac Jones. Mac Jones to the Jaguars for a 6th-round pick.
Dude, I just remember back before the draft, you were just like, the gap between, I don't even know who was above Mac Jones and Mac Jones was like bigger than the Pacific Ocean. And then as soon as the Patriots announced the pick, he was like in the chat, "Oh, I actually like the pick." Bro had to gaslight himself. past his Pacific Ocean
Yeah,
comment.
had the gas.
I respect that though.
That's how I was with Tyler Guyton. I was like, I fucking hate Tyler Guyton. Then after the pick, Levi was like, hey, what do you think? I was like, hey, it's a pretty solid pick. You know, he's got bad footwork. And
Hey, I had to do that with Jordan Love, not because of the player, but because of the needs. Like the Packers literally were entering a 2-year Super Bowl window and drafted backup QB, but it worked out, I guess. But
Hey, listen, boys, I gotta go. I'm sorry I can't hear your Packers take.
oh, it's all good.
But I do have to go, which is why I went first. So
I love you, Levi.
Love you,
much
Levi.
love. Mwah.
See you guys. See you,
Hey,
bud.
same time next week.
Yeah! There he is.
Peace
See you,
out,
bud. Oh, whoa. There we are. I'm listening.
Oh
Continue.
yeah. Moving on to the Packers, I guess. Pretty much they had 3 big things happen. One was get rid of Joe Barry finally. And got Jeff Hafley, the Boston College head coach. I don't know if you know anything about him or whatever, but his scheme is basically like the opposite of Joe Barry, which is a really good thing. Joe Barry really liked zone, and he would literally have like Preston Smith in coverage. Like it's not even a
Line up against Justin Jefferson.
Dude, yeah, and then against Adams too, and Adams completely toasts him. But anyways, Jeff Hafley's like a more man-to-man guy, which Jair is literally like one of the best man-to-man corners. Like his 2021 season, he was definitely the best corner in football, and that was because of man coverage. Then we brought in Xavier McKinney because this defensive coordinator really likes one safety looks, so we got him. And Packers also had the best running back duo in football for 45 minutes until they cut Aaron Jones. But we got Josh Jacobs, which is just a younger running back, I guess. Just trying to think of what other Packers really didn't do much else. They just had 2 big free agent signings, new DC. They brought back Keyshawn Nixon, which is good because the Packers like never had good special teams return before him. And yeah, honestly, I think the Packers probably going to go like 10-7, 11-6. I think. What do you think the ceiling and floors of the Cowboys and Packers?
Ceiling for the Cowboys is 12-5. Floor and the ceiling is only reached by Dak Prescott playing out of his mind. The floor is 9-8, based off of Tyler Guyton ended up not hitting. Mike Zimmer's defense not working out very well, or being a learning curve for the players. The Packers, I'm going to say the same thing, honestly. I think we're in very similar stages, not with roster, but with overall, like how the roster is built, right? So it's like you've got glaring weaknesses and you've got glaring bright spots. And so like Jordan Love, great quarterback, offensive line, pretty decent, defensive coordinator, offensive coach, pretty good. And I think that's pretty similar to the Cowboys, not with the coaching staff, but just like whenever some y'all's bads are just as bad as the Cowboys and y'all's goods are just as good as the Cowboys. So I would say that it's like 9-8, something like that. 9-8 to 12-5. I think it's going to be around there. I don't think you get over 12 wins. I don't think the Cowboys get over 12 wins. The Cowboys get over 12 wins. We're going to the Super Bowl. It's confirmed. Like that's over. But I don't know. I like that. I think there's that. Also, there's the possibility of Dak holding out. Which means that we'll just pay him because that's how the Joneses are. They're like, oh, you're going to hold out? We're not going to pay you. We're going to pay you.
Dude, how do you feel about the $60 million rumor for Dak Prescott?
I think that's perfect, bro. Like whenever he got paid 42, everybody was freaking out. Oh, it's too much. It's too much. That's just how the market is, dude. That's just how the market is. And now it's 60,
Dude, I'm scared for Jordan Love because tomorrow is the day he officially becomes extension eligible, which that scares me. Like, not because of like scared that he's gonna suck or whatever. It's just I just hate what the QB markets became. Like
guaranteed money, no trade clause, no tag clause.
Well, I was telling someone else too, is like every single time like an above average player or like great players get paid, they always set the market different. Like they always one up the
Mm-hmm.
next guy. Like when is
Mm-hmm.
that going to end? Like are we going to like just keep seeing it escalate to where QBs make 70 and then a wide receiver one makes like 40 to 50? Like
Mm-hmm.
when's it going to end, dude? Like the salary cap's like what, 225 or something? Like what's going to happen
Something like that.
when you have three players eat up 80% of it? It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Right. Well, the salary cap continues to go up, and that's why player contracts continue to go up. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how that's going to go. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be like the NBA where there's like a max contract, and then I think that's going to be dependent upon positions and stuff. But
I hope so.
but I think Jordan Love will probably command closer to like 65. I think he'll probably be around that range, and Dak will probably get 60, and then he'll get really close. I think he'll probably set the market in guaranteed money. No, he won't, because Deshaun Watson got like 60 fully guaranteed. But I don't know. I think that's what it's going to be. I think Jordan Love will get paid pretty good, and I think he'll be fine. I like Jordan Love. I liked him coming out. I actually like Trey Lance more than I liked Jordan Love as just a prospect, but obviously, dude, I'm not good at evaluating quarterbacks for some reason. I suck at evaluating quarterbacks. Like I knew Mac Jones was going to suck, but I thought Justin Herbert was going to be trash and Tua was going to be the best quarterback out of the class.
Dude, I kind of relate. I feel like I'm decent at grading QBs. I feel like I got a good track record. Like my two biggest misses was Trey Lance, because Trey Lance is exactly what like Brock Purdy became. Trey Lance just got screwed over by injuries. I just knew that anyone getting drafted by the Niners would have the system around them to be really good, and Trey Lance just getting injured kind of screwed that over. So, and then I like you, I thought Herbert was going to be a bust too. I just feel like he was too inconsistent in college. He just didn't seem like an NFL QB, but that was definitely a miss. So,
well, so like, and I'll argue this to the day I die. Justin Herbert's not a top 5 quarterback. I'll argue that to the day I die. He's not top 5.
Amen.
You agree? You agree?
Dude, he has to be one of the most overrated QBs in the league.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he is a good player, yes. But like at the same time, like if you looked at like his receiving core he's had his career, like now look at it now. Like he doesn't have like anybody. So like good luck to him. Like it's gonna be interesting because like Jordan Love, I also liked him as a prospect. Like the pick, like him himself, like when the Packers drafted him, I wasn't mad at. It was just the fact that we didn't capitalize on like an asset for our Super Bowl window, because that was right before the 2 playoff runs when the Packers were like the 1 seed. But Jordan Love, dude, like that was crazy progression over the past few years. Like I feel like it's crazy how comfortable he is now, even throughout last year. Like I feel like like you probably noticed it in the playoff game, but like his throwing off the back foot is like one of like the craziest things I've seen. Like it's so reliable and he's so consistent throwing off his back foot. I just think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the Cowboys were sending a lot of heat out of zone, and he was like, "Oh, no worries."
Like the Dontavian Wicks touchdown, like
yeah,
dude, like and Jordan Love, if you look at his receiving core, like he was literally just handed first and second year guys last year, and he got like I think he was 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns, something like that. Like that's why I'm really excited for this year. Like I feel like the Packers floor is 9-8, like you said, only because of the defensive coordinator switch and players and stuff. Like I think that'll be a learning curve. But
that is exactly why I think the Cowboys will go 9-8 if they do. The defensive coordinator switch and the players. I totally agree.
And then as ceiling, I would stretch it even one more game. I guess I think 13-4 could. I honestly think 12-5 is a good one. But my reason why I think it's 13-4 is because like I have the Packers schedule pulled up on my phone right now of last year. They lost to so many bad teams. Like they beat the good ones and lost to the bad one. Like they lost to the Falcons by 1 point, lost to the Raiders by 4, Broncos by 2, Giants by 2, and Steelers by 4. Like they literally lost like bottom teams by like 4 less points, and then they ended up beating the Chiefs, the Lions on Thanksgiving. I mean, I guess they throttled the Cowboys in the playoffs, sadly. And then if we were literally a kicker away from beating the Niners, like the Packers, I feel like the Packers, if everything clicks, like if their defense is actually healthy for once, which they never are, and this defensive coordinator scheme clicks right away because Joe Barry was so bad, Packers can go like 12 or 13 wins.
Okay. I like that too. I like that. Do you have anything else you want to touch on, Aiden? Yeah, feel free, dude.
I do got one question.
Yeah.
How many QBs do you think would be better, or how many QBs do you think would have equal success or greater in Brock Purdy's shoes?
20 of them.
20. Dude, I feel like that's a good one. I honestly would probably go more, dude. Like Brock Purdy, dude. Like he's solid with that.
Ahmad is gonna kill you for this,
dude. I remember like in October when I was the only one in the entire chat that was like, Brock
no,
Purdy.
I agreed with you. I said that I thought he was good, but he's a system quarterback through and through.
Okay, then because like I remember like Garrett and especially Ahmed and then somebody else like
Levi
were going off
Nikki
at me. Yeah, and then like he had like 2 really terrible games where he choked and threw like 4 picks, and then they were all
the
like,
Browns.
Yeah, they were all like apologizing to me, and like someone was even like, "Sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game." To like our take, like, dude, like I guarantee you, like I would even go as far as like 32 QBs would do better in his system.
So like I sat there and thought like 32, not every quarterback could do better than Brock Purdy, but I think that like probably, if we're being like honest, 15, but my hot take is probably like 20, because like the 15 are just the top 10 guys, and then like Cousins, Carr, Tua, Russell Wilson, Sam Howell, Danny Dimes. Actually, I think you're right. I think there are like closer to 32 quarterbacks that could put up close numbers.
Dude, if I actually do revive the Insta page,
it's gonna be a Brock Purdy hate page.
I will do just one post about it. I will do every QB I think would do better than Brock Purdy, and it'd probably be like 40 QBs. Like I honestly think pretty much
you should purposefully leave. Like number 1 should be Trey Lance. You should put number 1 as Trey Lance, and then just continue normal like Mahomes,
dude,
Allen.
Everybody's like, well, Trey Lance already had a shot and he sucked. No, he got like he literally like week 2 of that season he got the start job.
I think Trey Lance lost the job. I do, because he also lost to Sam Darnold as well. So he was the third.
Understand, but whatever, dude. I feel like.
What do you mean you don't understand? Like why?
I don't understand how he lost to his job. Like I didn't really follow what happened in the offseason to make him like lose his job.
He during the preseason games, they put him as quarterback 3, and he was going with like the UDFA reps and whatnot, like scout team reps. He literally like a couple weeks in, he lost it.
Dude, that just sucks though. It's like,
yeah,
I like coming out of college, he didn't even throw an interception in his last year. Like, I don't know. It's whatever. I probably wouldn't even include him on the list just for that, the hate I would get for that. But
no, dude, that hate is engagement.
Dude, I hate hate accounts that farm engagement. Like you've probably seen it so much on Instagram. Like even just the big accounts like CBS. Like I feel like they just farm engagement. You got the worst opinions. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, there's this account, and I forgot the name, but like literally that's all they do is they just farm football engagement. I'm going to find it, and they're going to be our clown of the week for this episode, all right?
Dude, that's one thing I can say as like an accomplishment for me is I never did one post that farmed engagement.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. None of them actually did. They were just passionate posts. Hold on. Give me a split second here. Is this it? Here it is. This guy, Hang Time NFL. Hang Time NFL. Here's right here.
and saying the Chiefs are in trouble because their rookie wide receiver, who had a great season and really clicked with Patrick Mahomes, got caught drag racing and crashing 2 cars, which he then ran away from on the highway. But it is actually all good because I just found out that Rashee Rice's interpreter was actually the one who was driving the car.
As a Shohei Ohtani joke, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's that guy's voice is so annoying.
Okay, here's like the top one. It's like here it is. Here's this one.
Everyone is saying that Tua's arm looks like a wet noodle because he couldn't throw this ball deep enough to hit Tyreek Hill in stride. But Tua's arm is actually super strong, and he just still doesn't understand how fast Tyreek is. Like, if you see where Tyreek Hill was when Tua released the ball, it just proves how accurate he really is. Everyone is saying that Tua's arm...
Like what?
Why does he talk like this? Like, dude, that's so...
Because he's from the north. He's from the Midwest.
Oh yeah, dude. Why not? Like, why not talk like that?
Yeah, yeah, dude. And like he shits on like he shits on Mahomes. He's like, everyone talks about Brock Purdy being a system quarterback, but did you know that if Patrick Mahomes was not in Andy Reid's system, he would actually be a system quarterback as well? Here are his stats comparatively, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, yeah, anyways, hang time NFL. I appreciate the posts that you do. They're funny. But like to the majority of people, they don't know that you're engagement farming and they like freak the shit out in the comments. Like he did one about like it was like Dak Prescott threw an accurate pass in his last throw, blah 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 blah. And it was like to the defense. And everybody in the comments was like, he had like 9 interceptions this year. He had 9 interceptions this year. He had 9 interceptions this year. And I'm like, yeah, guys, he's fucking trolling y'all. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? He's just fucking with y'all. And then there was another one where it was like, Zeke going back to the Cowboys is actually a great signing because Dak Prescott plays better football whenever Zeke's back there. And that means that Zeke's last play will not be this embarrassing one where he plays center.
When he gets ran over.
People don't understand the play, and I understand it because it's literally like on Madden. Whenever you only have one play left, you just run fucking Wildcat because it works like 80% of the time. You know?
I get it because like then you got like blockers and you can do all that pitch.
Yeah, they were just trying to pull the freaking Miami Miracle, dude.
What I don't get though is why you only had one guy under center, or at least seeing one guy. Wasn't there 1 or 2 guys? Like, even if it was just one, I remember it was a big dude that obviously flattened him. Why would you not, like, audible out of that or something? I don't know.
Right. No, and the reason why was just because, like, they were like, we're going to put all of our speed guys on the perimeter and blah, blah, blah. Like, all Dak, because Dak was, like, 10 yards back. So if Zeke can't snap it and Dak can't throw it by the time that big dude has to clear 7 yards, then whatever. and the throw was to a screen pass over on the left side, and then Kevontae Turpin was going to lateral it back to Dak, and then lateral it, and then all that other goofy crap. Yeah. But then Kevontae Turpin caught it and slipped and fell. So,
dude, next pod you should tell Levi ahead. We gotta get each of us make a list of our QBs that we think would be better than Brock Purdy.
Okay.
My list. Okay. I want to see how many QBs I can name because
I'm gonna put Brookshire certified drinking water on there.
Dude, I'm definitely putting Tom Brady on there. 47.
Peyton Manning.
Drew Brees. Even though Drew Brees can probably only throw like 5 yards now.
That's all you have to do for Debo.
That's what Brock Purdy does anyways.
I'm gonna put fucking Arch Manning. Yeah. Tony Romo, Troy Aikman. These guys are all better.
Dude, I'm gonna look
Bart
at
Starr.
I'm gonna put LeBron James on there.
I'm gonna put Kawhi Leonard just because of that dude, just because of Levi's post, bro. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. Kawhi Leonard actually isn't a fraud, Levi, believe it or not. Nah, I don't know anything about basketball. I don't care.
Dude, I'm gonna look up every single current NFL player that has played quarterback in high school or college and put him on the list.
Cedric Wilson played. Yeah, Cedric Wilson, Julian Edelman.
Randall Cobb. He's still playing, which I kind of forgot that he is. I wonder if he's still in the Jets, though.
I think he is.
Dude, yeah, he's literally just there for
Aaron Rodgers with one ACL. Kobe Bryant post helicopter crash. What else? Yeah, that was kind of dark, but that's a compliment to Kobe.
Dude.
That was a compliment to Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. Kobe.
Just shows how bad Brock Purdy is.
Yeah, dude.
Played in the system.
You got anything else for me, Aiden? I think I'm good. I can't think of anything else that I need to cover.
I can't really either. I'm excited for the next pod.
Dude, yeah, me too, bro. Alrighty, amigos, listen here. All right, if you like football, if you like anything, stay tuned, okay? Because we're going to be doing more podcasts of these in the future as well. My buddy, Aiden, who is the CEO of the greatest company of all time, multi-billion-dollar corporation, GG, as you can tell by his webcam, you can go and follow him. But the account's not ready yet. We're not sure what's going to happen, but I will keep you guys posted, and you can go follow him. I will be making graphics on there most likely. So if you want to support me and the boys, get ready to go follow that. I'll probably post a link in the comments whenever of this pod, whenever he posts it. So if you're watching this like a week from now, go check the comments. Alrighty, amigos. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you need more content, go watch my older stuff because it's pretty good. And I love you guys. Like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Peace out.